Think you're too smart to be fooled? Well, buckle up. You're about to get a reality check that'll make your head spin. We're not talking about your garden variety jerks here. We're diving deep into the heart of evil, the kind of nasty that makes your skin crawl. This isn't about pointing fingers at the annoying guy in line at the coffee shop. No, we're peeling back the curtain on the real villains walking among us, hiding in plain sight. Ready for a shock? These evil masters of disguise are so slick they could sell ice to a penguin. But we've got their number and we're about to blow the whistle on their game. We've lined up the 12 telltale signs that scream, "Watch out." And trust me, it's going to get wild. So if you've ever wondered why your gut screams run around certain folks, you're about to find out. Strap in, get your detective hat on, and let's call out the bad guys. It's time to expose the truth, and we're not holding back. Are you in? Because once you see it, there's no unseeing. Let the showdown begin. The chameleon charm, the first sign that you're dealing with a master of evil in disguise. Imagine this. One moment, they're the life of the party, radiating charm and drawing everyone into their orbit. The next, they're the epitome of a compassionate confidant, all ears and empathy. Sounds impressive, right? But here's the twist. It's all an act. These chameleons don't just adapt, they transform with a purpose. They're not trying to fit in, they're hunting for weaknesses, for cracks in the armor they can exploit. Their toolkit, a dazzling array of personalities, each tailored to suit the victim of the moment. Today they're your best friend echoing your every sentiment. Tomorrow they morph into the perfect ally for someone else, wearing a completely different mask. The real danger? They do it so seamlessly you start questioning your own judgment. Did I really see through them, or was it just a bad day? But here's how you see through the facade. Watch for the inconsistencies. Today's convictions become tomorrow's discarded opinions when they're speaking to someone new. Their principles? As solid as a house of cards in a breeze. Their ultimate goal is to ingratiate themselves with everyone, all while serving their own sinister agendas. Don't be fooled by the charm or the seemingly perfect ability to relate to you. The chameleon charm is their weapon, a means to an end. It's a sign of someone who's not just evil, but dangerously intelligent and manipulative. So, the next time you encounter someone who seems too good at fitting in, too adept at winning over every type of person, ask yourself, am I seeing their true colors, or just the shade they want me to see? Remember, the ability to blend in is not a crime, but using it to deceive and manipulate is a hallmark of someone you don't want in your life. Spotting this early could save you not just from potential heartache, but from being manipulated in a game you didn't even know you were playing. The iceberg effect. This phenomenon is not about the visible traits that scratch just the surface, but the hidden, massive bulk of malice that lies beneath. On the surface, you're greeted with warmth, perhaps a compliment or two, making you feel seen and appreciated. This is the tip of the iceberg, the part they want you to see. It's all too easy to bask in the glow of their attention, to feel special and valued. But beware, for this is a meticulously crafted facade designed to draw you into their grasp. The truth is, what lies beneath the waterline is a vast, cold expanse of true intent, filled with envy, greed, and a deep-seated desire to undermine. The warmth fades, the compliments turn backhanded, and the support becomes conditional. Suddenly, you find yourself navigating a sea of emotional manipulation, where every interaction leaves you feeling colder and more isolated than before. The danger of the iceberg effect lies in its subtlety. It's a slow poison, one that seeps into the very fabric of your relationship, often going unnoticed until the damage is done. You might find yourself making excuses for their behavior, attributing it to stress or a misunderstanding. But the pattern is clear, a cycle of warmth followed by a chilling withdrawal, leaving you constantly off balance and seeking their approval. To protect yourself, it's essential to pay attention to the balance of your interactions. Are they truly reciprocal, or are you always left feeling wanting? Do their actions match their words, or is there a disconnect that leaves you uneasy? Remember, a person who genuinely cares will not subject you to the freezing depths of their hidden malice. Embarking further into our journey of unveiling, we encounter the treacherous terrain of master manipulators, a breed so cunning, they turn deception into an art form. This is not about the casual fibber or the occasional white lie. We're delving into the realm of those who wield manipulation like a maestro conducts an orchestra, with precision, intent, and a disturbing sense of satisfaction. Master manipulators have a toolkit that would make a spy blush. They're adept at reading people, identifying vulnerabilities like a shark smells blood. With this knowledge, they weave complex webs of deceit designed to control, coerce, and ultimately, conquer. Their words are honeyed, but their intentions, poisonous. The real danger lies in their subtlety. These puppeteers pull strings behind the scenes, making you dance to their tune while believing you're leading the waltz. They plant ideas in your mind as if they were your own, pushing you towards decisions that serve their ends, not yours. They're the architects of scenarios where they emerge as the hero, the confidant, the indispensable one, all while quietly eroding your autonomy. But here's how you dismantle their stage. Question the motive behind the gesture, the advice, the seemingly random acts of kindness. Is there a pattern of dependency being woven around you, tying you to them in ways that feel increasingly constrictive? Manipulators thrive in ambiguity and emotional indebtedness. Shine a light on these tactics by setting boundaries, seeking clarity, and trusting your gut when something feels off. To counteract a master manipulator, one must be vigilant and self-aware. Recognize when flattery is used as a tool rather than genuine compliment, when guilt is wielded as a weapon to sway your decisions, and when isolation becomes a tactic to distance you from other perspectives. The path to safeguarding yourself from master manipulators is through empowerment. Knowledge is your armor, and your will is your sword. Stand firm in your convictions, seek counsel from those you truly trust, and remember that manipulation loses its power in the face of truth and transparency. As we navigate these treacherous waters, let us be guided by the light of our own integrity, for it is in our strongest self that manipulation finds no hold. Sailing past the murky waters of manipulation, we anchor next at the shores of the lie factory. Here, falsehoods are not just occasional slips, but the very currency in which these individuals trade. They craft their lies with the precision of a jeweler, each deceit carefully cut to dazzle and mislead. This is a realm where truth is not just bent, it's reinvented, spun into elaborate tales that serve to obscure reality and advance their agenda. The operatives of the lie factory are not your garden variety fibbers. They are grand masters of the art of deception. Their lies are layered, complex, and often contain just enough truth to be plausible, making them dangerously convincing. These fabrications are designed not just to deceive for the moment, but to build entire edifices of falsity, where they reign supreme, unchallenged by the inconvenient truths they've buried deep beneath their constructs. The arsenal of the lie factory is vast, including lies of omission, where crucial information is withheld, lies of commission, where fabrications are actively constructed, and lies of influence, designed to shape perceptions and manipulate outcomes. Their goal? To control the narrative, to shape your reality to their liking, leaving you doubting your own senses, your memory, your very grip on truth. To navigate this labyrinth of lies, one must become a seeker of truth, armed with skepticism and the courage to question, verify facts, cross-check stories, and pay attention to inconsistencies. Lies, no matter how skillfully crafted, often leave a trail, discrepancies in stories, promises that never materialize, details that change with each telling. Moreover, trust your intuition. Often our subconscious picks up on cues that our conscious mind overlooks. If something feels off, there's a good chance it is. Building a network of trustworthy individuals can also serve as a bulwark against the isolation these fabricators seek to impose, ensuring that you have a sounding board to validate your reality. The key to dismantling the lie factory is not just in exposing the lies, but in reinforcing your commitment to truth. It involves creating an environment where honesty thrives and deception finds no fertile ground. As we journey through the fog of falsehoods, let our resolve be strengthened by our dedication to authenticity, for it is in the light of truth that the shadows of deception are dispelled. As we venture deeper into the shadowy realms of human deceit, we encounter the chilling domain of those utterly devoid of empathy, the empathy, never heard of it brigade. These are not merely individuals caught in a moment of insensitivity. Rather, they are those who tread a path entirely bereft of genuine compassion or understanding. Like wanderers in a barren desert, they see emotions not as the essence of human connection, but as tools to be exploited, manipulated for gain or advantage. The stark lack of empathy is a defining hallmark of a deeply troubling character. These individuals observe the emotions of others from a distance, analyzing feelings as one might examine insects under a magnifying glass, with cold curiosity but no real connection. They mimic the appropriate emotional responses, offering a counterfeit version of sympathy or concern, all while their inner landscape remains as cold and unyielding as a winter's night. Their interactions are transactions where emotional currency is spent only to achieve personal objectives. To them, your sadness is an opportunity, your happiness a lever, and your fears a map to your vulnerabilities. They weave through the fabric of social norms with the precision of a surgeon, cutting away at bonds and trust with scalpel-like indifference. To shield yourself from such chilling indifference, it's crucial to recognize the signs. Pay attention to the congruence between words and actions. Does their purported concern manifest in their behavior, or does it evaporate when action is required? Observe their reactions in situations that demand empathy. Is there a depth to their emotional responses, or do they seem shallow and perfunctory? Fostering a keen sense of emotional intelligence can serve as both shield and compass. It allows you to discern genuine emotional engagement from its cold imitation. Surround yourself with individuals whose empathy is palpable, whose actions and concerns for others resonate with sincerity. In doing so, you create a bulwark against those who would manipulate your emotions for their ends. Ultimately, confronting the empathy never heard of it phenomenon is not just about safeguarding oneself, but about affirming the values of emotional connection and genuine compassion. It's a stand for the belief that empathy is not a weakness but a cornerstone of our humanity, a force that binds us together in shared understanding and mutual respect. As we navigate these icy waters, let us be guided by the warmth of our empathy, for it is in this warmth that we find our true direction. Frenemy fire. This term captures those who masquerade as allies, friends who stand by your side, only to reveal their true colors when the winds change. These are the architects of betrayal, masters at cultivating trust only to exploit it when you're most vulnerable. The frenemy fire burns with the paradox of close proximity and hidden animosity. These individuals excel in the art of duplicity, wearing friendship like a cloak under which they hide their dagger, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. Their betrayal doesn't come from the shadows, but from within the circle of trust, making it all the more shocking and painful. These false friends thrive on the element of surprise, leveraging their intimate knowledge of your life, your secrets, and your fears to inflict maximum damage. They feed on the trust you've placed in them, turning it against you in acts of sabotage, gossip, or outright treachery. The damage they can inflict goes beyond the immediate hurt or confusion. It sows seeds of doubt and mistrust that can linger long after the initial wound has healed. To fortify yourself against the frenemy fire, vigilance and discernment are key. Be wary of those who seem overly eager to gather personal information, or those whose curiosity feels intrusive rather than genuine. Watch for inconsistencies in their behavior, especially how they talk about others in their presence versus in their absence. A frenemy's loyalty is often as changeable as the wind, and they may reveal their true feelings about others, hinting at how they might eventually treat you. Cultivating a circle of genuine supportive friends acts as both a deterrent and a defense against frenemies. True friends uplift and support each other, providing a contrast so stark that a frenemy's duplicity becomes apparent by comparison. Moreover, Investing in self-reliance and inner strength ensures that while betrayal may sting, it does not derail. Your sense of self and your path should not be unduly influenced by the actions of those who secretly wish you harm. Stepping out from the flickering shadows cast by the frenemy fire, we now confront the masterful evaders of responsibility in the Blame Game Pro. This elusive character is an adept at dodging accountability, turning every situation, no matter how clearly they're at fault, into a circus where they're somehow the victim or, at the very least, an innocent bystander. Their skill lies not in rectifying mistakes but in redistributing blame with such finesse that you might find yourself apologizing for their errors. The Blame Game Pro lives in a world where personal responsibility is an alien concept. Every failure, every misstep, is someone else's fault. The weather, the traffic, the overly demanding boss, or even the alignment of the stars. They weave narratives where they're perpetually wronged, misunderstood, or sabotaged, never once stopping to consider their role in the outcomes of their actions. This relentless abdication of responsibility is not just frustrating, it's corrosive to relationships and teams. It undermines trust, erodes respect, and stalls progress. Working with or being close to a Blame Game Pro can feel like being trapped in a hall of mirrors, where accountability is distorted and truth becomes elusive. To protect yourself from getting caught in this blame spiral, it's crucial to establish clear boundaries and facts. Documentation becomes your ally in professional settings, while open, honest communication is your shield in personal relationships. It's about creating an environment where accountability is expected and encouraged, where issues can be addressed directly and constructively. Encouraging a culture of ownership and learning, where mistakes are seen as opportunities for growth rather than weapons for blame, can mitigate the Blame Game Pro's impact. It's about shifting the narrative from blame to responsibility, from evasion to engagement. This doesn't just protect you, it promotes a healthier dynamic around you, whether in work, friendships, or family. Confronting the Blame Game Pro teaches us the value of responsibility, not just in avoiding blame but in embracing our actions and their consequences. It's a call to step into our power, to own our decisions, and to lead by example in a dance of integrity. Let us move with grace, not away from accountability, but towards a brighter understanding of our collective human potential. After navigating the treacherous paths laid by the Blame Game Pro, we venture into the dense thicket where the jealousy juggernauts lurk. These individuals are consumed by a green-eyed monster that dictates their actions, thoughts, and interactions. Unlike the mild envy that everyone might feel from time to time, the jealousy of these juggernauts is a corrosive force, eating away at their core and poisoning relationships around them. The jealousy. Juggernauts don't simply covet what others have. They simmer in resentment when anyone else experiences success, happiness, or growth. This isn't about aspiration or the desire to improve one's lot in life. It's a zero-sum game where they see another's gain as their loss, unable to celebrate or even acknowledge the achievements and joys of those around them. Their envy is not silent. It manifests in undermining comments, in the diminishment of others' achievements, and in a relentless comparison that leaves no room for genuine self-esteem or mutual respect. They might belittle your successes, question your methods, or spread doubt under the guise of concern, all to tarnish the luster of your accomplishments. To shield yourself from the jealousy juggernauts, it's crucial to recognize their patterns and understand that their behavior reflects their own insecurities and shortcomings, not your worth or achievements. Building a strong sense of self-worth and grounding your achievements in your own values and hard work can help you navigate their attempts to undermine you. Fostering environments that celebrate collective success and individual achievements can also dilute the poison of envy. Encouraging openness, where feelings of envy can be discussed in a healthy and constructive manner, helps to disarm the jealousy juggernauts, showing them a path away from resentment and towards self-improvement and genuine happiness for others. Confronting jealousy. Juggernauts is more than a defense against their bitterness. It's an affirmation of the richness of human achievement and the joy that comes from celebrating each other's successes. It's a commitment to fostering an environment where everyone can thrive, unshackled by the chains of envy, moving forward together in a dance of mutual uplift and genuine camaraderie. Emerging from the tangled underbrush of envy, we find ourselves face to face with the cunning architects of reality distortion, the gaslighting gurus. These are the individuals who wield manipulation like a craftsman wields a tool, shaping perceptions and memories with the finesse of a sculptor. But their creations are far from works of art. Instead, they construct mazes of doubt, confusion, and self-questioning in the minds of their targets, making them question their own sanity, memories, and perceptions. Gaslighting is a psychological manipulation technique used to make someone doubt their own experiences, often to gain power over them. The gaslighting gurus are experts at this game, planting seeds of doubt with subtle comments, denying things they clearly said or did, and shifting the blame so that the victim feels at fault for even questioning the narrative. This form of manipulation can be particularly insidious because it attacks the very foundation of our confidence, our ability to trust our senses and judgments. Victims of gaslighting often find themselves in a fog of confusion, constantly second-guessing their reality and feeling a profound sense of isolation as their manipulator's version of reality becomes increasingly dominant. The key to dismantling the influence of a gaslighting guru lies in trusting your own perceptions and validating your experiences. Keep a journal or record of events and conversations when possible. This can serve as a tangible reminder of your reality when doubt creeps in. Seeking support from trusted friends, family, or professionals can also provide an external perspective that counters the manipulator's narrative. Creating boundaries is crucial. Once you recognize the signs of gaslighting, assert your understanding of reality and refuse to engage in debates about your own perceptions. This is not about winning an argument, but about protecting your sense of self and your grip on reality. Confronting gaslighting gurus is an act of reclamation. It's about reclaiming your trust in your senses, your memories, and your capacity to perceive the truth. It's a declaration that your reality is valid, that your experiences are genuine, and that no one has the right to manipulate them. In standing firm against gaslighting, we not only protect ourselves but also light a beacon for others who may be struggling in the darkness, guiding them back to their own truth. Leaving the disorienting fog created by the gaslighting gurus, we step into the territory of the commitment phobic, those who treat reliability and dedication as if they were chains rather than bonds. This is not about the healthy fear of rushing into decisions unprepared, but rather an aversion to commitment that runs so deep. It sabotages relationships, projects, and opportunities before they even have the chance to flourish. The commitment-phobic individuals are the masters of the almost there, the nearly done, the just about to. They dangle promises of commitment and reliability like carrots on a stick, always just out of reach. Whether it's in personal relationships, professional projects, or even simple tasks, they weave a narrative of imminent dedication that somehow invariably fails to materialize. This aversion to commitment is often rooted in deeper issues of trust, fear of failure, or a desire for perpetual freedom that eschews the responsibilities that come with deep, meaningful engagements. The fallout from their actions is a trail of broken promises, unmet expectations, and the erosion of trust, leaving those in their wake questioning the validity of their expectations and the solidity of their plans. To navigate the challenges posed by the commitment phobic, it is crucial to set clear expectations and boundaries from the outset. Communication is key, not as a means to force commitment, but to understand the limitations and capacities of the engagement. Recognizing the signs early can help in managing your expectations and in deciding how much of your own resources, time, emotional energy, trust, you are willing to invest. Moreover, it's important to recognize that commitment phobia, while frustrating, is often a symptom of deeper fears and insecurities. Compassion and understanding can sometimes open a dialogue that addresses these underlying issues. However, protecting your own interests and emotional well-being should always be a priority. Engaging with commitment-phobic individuals teaches us the value of clear communication, the importance of boundaries, and the need for self-respect in the face of uncertainty. It challenges us to consider what we value in our relationships and projects and to seek out those who share these values. In doing so, we learn not only how to protect ourselves from the fallout of unmet commitments, but also how to foster environments where commitment is viewed not as a burden, but as the foundation of trust and mutual respect. Advancing beyond the evasive shadows cast by the commitment-phobic, we now find ourselves in the domain of those with a profound aversion to accountability, the apology allergic. These individuals treat apologies as if they were a form of kryptonite, weakening their invincible facade at the mere suggestion of wrongdoing. In their world, admitting fault is not an act of integrity, but a sign of weakness, a breach in the armor they believe protects them. The apology. Allergic navigate through life-deflecting responsibility, often resorting to justifications, deflections, or outright denial rather than facing the humility of an apology. Their inability to apologize stems from a deep-seated insecurity, a fear that admitting fault will diminish their standing in the eyes of others. This resistance to acknowledging mistakes not only hampers personal growth, but also erodes relationships, creating an environment where trust and openness struggle to thrive. Engaging with someone who is apology allergic can be profoundly frustrating, as it often feels like battling against a fortress of denial. The lack of acknowledgement can leave wounds open, festering without the closure that an apology can bring. It challenges the very foundation of communication and respect in any relationship, be it personal or professional. To navigate interactions with the apology allergic, it is essential to maintain a clear sense of your own reality and not allow their deflections to cast doubt on your experiences. Setting boundaries is crucial. It communicates that respect and accountability are non-negotiable elements of your interactions. Moreover, choose your battles wisely. Understand that not every acknowledgement will come in the form of an apology, and sometimes actions, though not a replacement, may speak louder than words. It's also important to model the behavior you wish to see. Demonstrating the strength found in vulnerability and the integrity of accountability can, at times, encourage those who are apology allergic to reconsider their stance. However, safeguarding your emotional well-being is paramount. Recognize when it's time to distance yourself from relationships where mutual respect and accountability are consistently absent. Dealing with the apology allergic teaches us the importance of humility, the strength in admitting our mistakes, and the healing power of a sincere apology. It underscores the value of creating spaces where vulnerability is not a liability, but a cornerstone of trust and growth. In fostering these environments, we not only encourage personal accountability, but also cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections with those around us. Emerging from the tangled interactions with the apology allergic, we step into the spotlight of the privacy pirates. These individuals navigate social waters with an eye not for treasure, but for personal information, which they collect with the zeal of an enthusiast amassing rare artifacts. The privacy pirates see personal boundaries not as sacrosanct limits to be respected, but as mere suggestions, challenges to be overcome in their quest for knowledge about others. These voyeurs of the personal realm often justify their intrusive behavior under the guise of concern, curiosity, or even entitlement, believing their close relationship with you grants them unrestricted access to your private life. However, their true motive is control. Understanding your vulnerabilities, your fears, and your desires gives them leverage, a way to anchor themselves more firmly in your world, often for their own benefit. Dealing with privacy pirates requires a careful balance of openness and boundary setting. It's important to communicate clearly what you consider private and to enforce these boundaries consistently. This might mean tactfully but firmly redirecting conversations away from sensitive topics, or it could involve more direct measures, such as limiting the information you share with them. Recognizing the difference between genuine concern and intrusive curiosity can help you navigate these interactions. A true friend respects your privacy and understands that closeness does not necessitate full disclosure. Trust your instincts. If sharing feels like it's more for their gratification than for mutual connection, it's okay to hold back. The challenge posed by privacy pirates is not just in protecting your personal information, but in asserting your right to privacy. It's a reminder that healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and trust, where personal boundaries are recognized and valued. By standing firm in your boundaries, you not only protect your privacy, but also teach others how to engage with you in a respectful and meaningful way. Confronting privacy pirates is an exercise in self-respect and assertiveness. It's about valuing your own privacy enough to protect it, even from those who might seem benignly interested or harmlessly nosy. Sailing away from the intrusive waters patrolled by the privacy pirates, we embark upon a journey to understand the control freaks on steroids. These individuals take the desire for influence and steer it into an obsession, an unyielding need to dictate every aspect of their environment, including the people within it. They view life as a chessboard and themselves as the grandmasters, moving pieces according to their grand plan, with little regard for autonomy or personal freedom. The control freaks on steroids exhibit a compelling need to manage the outcomes of every situation, driven by a deep-seated fear of unpredictability and a mistrust of others' capabilities. Their need for control can manifest in various aspects of life, from obsessively micromanaging work projects to dominating personal relationships and making decisions on behalf of others, often without their consent or input. Interacting with such individuals can feel stifling, as their overbearing presence leaves little room for personal agency or creativity. Their insistence on control can quash spontaneity, breeding an atmosphere of compliance that stifles growth and independence. It's a relentless push and pull, where every act of autonomy is seen not as a right but as a challenge to their authority. To navigate the turbulent waters stirred by control freaks on steroids, it's crucial to establish and reinforce your boundaries firmly and consistently. Asserting your right to make decisions, to take the lead on your projects, and to live your life according to your values is essential in preserving your sense of self. This might involve clear, calm, and direct communication about your needs and expectations, as well as the consequences of not respecting them. Understanding the root of their behavior, often fear and insecurity, can sometimes offer a pathway to compassion and compromise. However, safeguarding your autonomy is paramount. It's about finding the balance between empathy for their fears and steadfastness in your right to independence. Dealing with control freaks on steroids teaches us the importance of personal agency and the value of a balanced, respectful dynamic where control is shared rather than hoarded. It's a lesson in setting limits, not just with others, but also within ourselves, recognizing where our control ends and another's begins. Through these challenges, we learn to foster relationships built on mutual respect, trust, and the freedom to grow independently, even as we grow together. Navigating beyond the suffocating grip of the control freaks on steroids, we next encounter the tumultuous realm of the drama kings and queens. These individuals thrive in chaos, drawing energy from the whirlwinds of conflict, misunderstanding, and emotional upheaval they conjure. For them, a day without drama is like a play without a climax, dull and unworthy of their participation. The drama kings and queens are maestros of manipulation, often using exaggerated emotions to ensnare those around them into their scripted turmoil. They have a knack for turning minor disagreements into full-blown crises, casting themselves alternately as the villain, the hero, or the wronged innocent, depending on which role serves their current narrative. Their appetite for drama often stems from a deep-seated need for attention and validation. By constantly centering themselves in turmoil, they ensure a captive audience, always on edge, always ready to react. However, this relentless pursuit of the spotlight not only exhausts those around them but also erodes genuine connections, leaving relationships fraught with tension and suspicion. To navigate the stormy seas churned up by drama kings and queens, maintaining an emotional equilibrium is key. Recognize the theatrics for what they are, performances designed to provoke a reaction. By refusing to play a supporting role in their drama, you can often diffuse the situation. This requires patience, a cool head, and sometimes strategic disengagement. Choose your battles wisely, knowing that not every provocation deserves a response. Establishing healthy boundaries is also crucial. Make it clear that while you are there for support, you will not be drawn into unnecessary conflict. This delineation between support and participation can help temper their dramatic impulses and steer interactions onto more stable ground. Dealing with drama kings and queens ultimately teaches us the value of peace, both within ourselves and in our relationships. It underscores the importance of clear communication, firm boundaries, and the strength found in choosing tranquility over tumult. By fostering environments where calm and understanding prevail, we not only protect our well-being, but also create spaces where genuine connections can flourish, untainted by the shadow of constant drama. After steering clear of the stormy seas dominated by the drama kings and queens, we now approach the deceptive calm of the fair-weather friends. These are the companions who shine brightly in your life during times of joy and success, but evaporate like morning dew at the first sign of trouble or need. Their loyalty, it seems, is as dependable as a fair-weather cloud, present when the skies are clear but nowhere to be found when a storm looms on the horizon. Fair-weather friends master the art of convenience, weaving in and out of your life based on what they can gain or enjoy. During your moments of triumph, they bask in the reflected glory and the joys of association. Yet, in periods of struggle or sadness, their support proves to be as substantial as a mirage, leaving you to face your challenges alone. The impact of realizing a friend's loyalty is conditional can be both disheartening and enlightening. It forces a reckoning with the nature of the relationships we keep and highlights the importance of reciprocal, steadfast support. Dealing with fair-weather friends requires a discerning heart, the ability to distinguish between those who are with you for the journey and those who are merely along for the read. To navigate the shifting sands left in the wake of fair-weather friends, cultivating self-reliance and a strong support network of truly dependable people is crucial. It involves recognizing the patterns of behavior that signal fair-weather tendencies. Enthusiasm for shared successes but conspicuous absence or indifference during difficult times. Setting boundaries with these friends is also key. It's important to manage expectations, understanding that while they may be a part of your life, they should not be the ones you rely on in times of real need. This doesn't necessarily mean cutting them out of your life completely, but rather recalibrating their place within it. Engaging with fair-weather friends teaches us the value of authenticity and depth in our relationships. It encourages us to cherish those who stand by us in all weathers, those rare souls who walk with us under the sun and who hold the umbrella when it rains. It's a lesson in appreciating the true meaning of friendship, a bond that is not measured by the frequency of shared celebrations but by the unwavering presence through life's ups and downs. Venturing beyond the ephemeral presence of the fair-weather friends, we now find ourselves in the shadowy realm of the backstabbing hobbyists. These are the individuals who, under the guise of friendship or loyalty, wait patiently for the opportune moment to betray your trust. Unlike the overt drama fueled by the drama kings and queens, the betrayal here is a more sinister, covert operation, a dagger hidden behind a smile, ready to be plunged into your back at the first sign of their gain or your vulnerability. The backstabbing hobbyists are skilled in the art of duplicity, wearing a mask of camaraderie and support while secretly undermining you. Their actions are driven not by impulse but by calculation, making their betrayals all the more painful for their premeditated nature. They thrive on the power dynamics of relationships, seeking to elevate themselves at the expense of those who trust them. Their betrayal can manifest in various forms: spreading rumors, disclosing confidential information, sabotaging opportunities, or aligning with your adversaries behind your back. The impact of their actions extends beyond the immediate hurt or loss. It breeds a pervasive sense of distrust and skepticism, tainting your ability to open up and trust others. To safeguard yourself from the backstabbing hobbyists, vigilance and discernment become invaluable allies. It's important to pay attention to inconsistencies in behavior, unexplained shifts in attitude, or signs of insincerity in their support. Cultivating a network of genuine, trustworthy connections can provide a counterbalance to their deceit, offering both support and perspective that can help identify and mitigate their machinations. Moreover, fostering a sense of self-worth and resilience ensures that while their betrayal may wound, it does not define you. It's about recognizing that their actions reflect their character, not your worthiness or your ability to be a good friend. Dealing with backstabbing hobbyists is a harsh lesson in the complexities of human relationships, teaching us the importance of trust, the value of authenticity, and the strength found in vulnerability. It underscores the need to choose our confidants wisely, to invest in relationships that are rooted in mutual respect and genuine affection, and to remain graceful in the face of deceit, knowing that our capacity for trust and connection is not diminished by the actions of those unworthy of them. Advancing from the dark alleys navigated due to the backstabbing hobbyists, we now enter the domain dominated by the compliment fishers. These individuals navigate social waters with baited hooks, constantly seeking validation and admiration from those around them. Unlike those who genuinely share accomplishments or seek feedback, the compliment fishers are engaged in a perpetual quest for approval, their self-worth tethered to the external validation they manage to reel in. The compliment fishers are characterized by their relentless pursuit of praise. They showcase their achievements, no matter how minor, in the best possible light, often embellishing the truth to make their tales more captivating. Their stories are baited hooks, designed to draw in admiration and validation. However, this relentless pursuit often stems from a place of deep insecurity, a fear that without constant affirmation, they might drift into obscurity. This insatiable hunger for compliments can strain relationships, as interactions become transactional, centered around bolstering their ego rather than genuine connection. It can lead to a dynamic where the value of the conversation is measured not by its depth or sincerity, but by how much praise can be extracted from it. Navigating the waters populated by compliment fishers requires a balance of empathy and boundaries. While it's important to recognize the underlying insecurities driving their behavior, it's equally crucial to not get caught in the cycle of endless validation. Offering sincere compliments when merited is healthy, but it's important to gently encourage self-reflection and self-validation, guiding them towards finding worth within themselves rather than in the eyes of others. Furthermore, fostering environments where accomplishments are recognized but not the sole focus of interactions can help shift the dynamic. Encouraging discussions that value thoughts, feelings, and ideas over achievements can provide a richer, more balanced ground for relationships, helping to wean compliment fishers off their dependence on external validation. Engaging with compliment fishers offers lessons in the delicate art of validation, understanding when to offer it, how to foster environments that minimize its necessity, and recognizing the profound difference between supporting someone's self-esteem and becoming an unwitting participant in their endless quest for approval. It teaches us that while compliments can be a powerful form of recognition, true self-worth must ultimately come from within, rooted in self-acceptance and genuine personal growth. Compliment fishers. We find ourselves confronting the emotional vortex of the sympathy siphoner. These individuals dwell in a perpetual state of crisis or misfortune, not merely sharing their struggles in search of genuine support, but rather exploiting their tales of woe to monopolize attention and drain the emotional resources of those around them. Sympathy. Siphoners are adept at painting themselves as eternal victims, ensnared in an unending series of tragedies that seem to unfold with dramatic precision. While life's hardships spare no one, these individuals have a peculiar knack for using theirs as a means to commandeer the spotlight, weaving narratives that draw others into a cycle of pity, concern, and reassurance. This relentless demand for sympathy can be as exhausting as it is manipulative. It places friends and loved ones in the unenviable position of perpetual comforters, their own needs and struggles sidelined by the siphoner's latest saga. The relationship becomes unbalanced, anchored in the siphoner's needs, with little room for reciprocity. Navigating the treacherous waters stirred by sympathy siphoners requires a delicate balance of compassion and self-preservation. It's important to offer support while also setting boundaries that prevent your emotional well-being from being compromised. This might involve limiting the time spent discussing their issues, encouraging them to seek professional help, or simply saying no when their demands for sympathy become too burdensome. Moreover, it's crucial to recognize the difference between being supportive and being exploited. Genuine friendship involves give and take, with both parties offering support and receiving it in turn. Encouraging sympathy. Siphoners to engage in this reciprocity can be a gentle way to guide them towards more balanced interactions. Dealing with sympathy siphoners teaches us the importance of empathy, but also the necessity of boundaries. It's a reminder that our emotional resources are finite, and that true support is a two-way street, marked by mutual respect and understanding. By navigating these interactions wisely, we protect our own emotional well-being, while also encouraging a healthier dynamic, one where support is shared rather than siphoned. Having navigated the exhaustive realm of the sympathy siphoners, we find ourselves at the threshold of a new challenge, one not previously charted in our exploration of human character. Let's introduce the invisible boundary invaders, a group that wasn't initially on our radar but proves just as formidable in the landscape of interpersonal dynamics. Invisible boundary. Invaders are those who, whether through ignorance or intention, consistently overstep the invisible lines that define personal space, comfort, and psychological well-being. Unlike the privacy pirates, who seek information as their treasure, these invaders are not always on a quest for secrets. Their invasions are often more about disregarding personal limits for their convenience or pleasure. These individuals might physicalize their invasions by standing too close, making unwelcome physical contact, or inserting themselves into personal activities without an invite. Psychologically, they impose their opinions, disregard your choices, or assume roles in your life that you haven't offered, effectively ignoring the concept of consent in interpersonal interactions. Navigating the murky waters of invisible boundary invaders requires a firm yet respectful reaffirmation of your boundaries. It's essential to communicate clearly and assertively about what is and isn't acceptable within your personal space and interpersonal exchanges. This could involve direct conversations about your comfort levels, nonverbal cues to establish physical distance, or even seeking external support in more persistent cases. Fostering an environment of mutual respect is key. By modeling respect for others' boundaries, you not only set the standard for how you expect to be treated, but also provide a blueprint for healthier interactions. Encouraging open dialogue about comfort levels and personal limits can help to illuminate and respect the invisible lines that should not be crossed. Dealing with invisible boundary invaders teaches us the critical importance of respect for individual autonomy and the sanctity of personal space. It highlights the necessity of boundary setting not only for our well-being but also for the health of our relationships. In addressing these invasions with courage and clarity, we champion the cause of personal integrity and mutual respect, fostering connections that honor the invisible boundaries that keep us all safe and respected. Venturing beyond the challenges posed by the invisible boundary invaders, we delve into the realm of the trust tamperers. These are individuals who, through their actions or inactions, chip away at the very foundation of trust that sustains healthy relationships. Unlike the direct betrayal of the backstabbing hobbyists, trust tamperers engage in a more subtle erosion of confidence and reliability, often leaving you questioning the solidity of the ground you thought you stood on together. Trust tamperers operate through a series of minor breaches rather than a single devastating blow. They might make promises with no intention of keeping them, share half-truths that seed doubt, or demonstrate inconsistency between their words and actions. Over time, these small acts accumulate, constructing a narrative of unreliability that undermines the trust once given freely and fully. The damage inflicted by trust tamperers is not always immediately apparent. Like water slowly eroding stone, their actions gradually wear away the trust, leaving relationships vulnerable and exposed to the elements of misunderstanding and conflict. The realization that one's trust has been tampered with can evoke a profound sense of betrayal, affecting one's ability to trust in future interactions. Navigating relationships with trust tamperers requires vigilance and the willingness to confront inconsistencies when they arise. Open communication about your expectations and their actions can sometimes bridge the gap between perceived and actual intentions. However, it's also crucial to set and enforce boundaries around what is acceptable behavior and what isn't, making it clear that trust is a cornerstone of your relationship that must be respected. Moreover, it's important to cultivate a strong sense of self-trust. Trusting your instincts when something feels off can guide you in managing your relationships more effectively. Learning from interactions with trust tamperers can reinforce your understanding of the signs of trustworthiness and the importance of aligning actions with words. Dealing with trust tamperers ultimately strengthens our understanding of trust as a precious commodity in relationships, not to be given lightly or eroded thoughtlessly. It teaches us the importance of nurturing trust through consistent, reliable actions and the courage to rebuild or redefine relationships when that trust is compromised. After charting the course through the deceptive currents of the trust tamperers, we now find ourselves facing the subtle yet pervasive influence of the opinion overriders. These individuals wield their viewpoints not as contributions to a dialogue, but as the final word on any subject, effectively drowning out the voices and perspectives of those around them. Unlike the assertive sharing of opinions seen in healthy discourse, opinion overriders impose their perspectives as absolute, leaving little room for debate or differing viewpoints. The opinion overriders often come armed with an air of superiority or an unshakable belief in their own infallibility. They might dismiss alternative perspectives outright, belittle those who dare to disagree, or manipulate conversations in such a way that only their viewpoint emerges victorious. This behavior not only stifles open communication, but also undermines the value of diversity in thought and the growth that comes from challenging discussions. Engaging with an opinion overrider can feel like battling against a tide, where every attempt at dialogue is swept away by their overwhelming need to dominate the conversation. This dynamic can lead to feelings of frustration, insignificance, and even resignation among those repeatedly subjected to such overbearing discourse. To navigate interactions with opinion overriders, it's crucial to assert your right to your opinions and to foster environments where all voices are heard and respected. This might involve setting clear guidelines for discussions, emphasizing the importance of listening as much as speaking, or in some cases, choosing to disengage from conversations that become unproductive battlegrounds for dominance, rather than arenas for healthy debate. Promoting a culture of respect and curiosity for differing viewpoints can gradually shift the dynamics, making it clear that while everyone's opinion is valued, no single perspective holds a monopoly on truth. Encouraging opinion. Overriders to consider other viewpoints not as threats but as opportunities for enrichment can sometimes open their eyes to the broader horizons of understanding and cooperation. Confronting opinion overriders challenges us to stand firm in our beliefs while remaining open to the insights of others. It teaches us the delicate balance between asserting our own perspectives and embracing the diverse tapestry of thought that enriches our interactions. Through these trials, we learn the true meaning of dialogue, not merely the exchange of words but the meeting of minds where every voice, however soft, finds space to be heard. Progressing from the domineering discourse of the opinion overriders, we find ourselves in the orbit of the negativity nurturers. These individuals seem to thrive on pessimism, consistently focusing on the downsides, the what-ifs, and the worst-case scenarios. Unlike those who might offer constructive criticism or cautious advice, negativity nurturers immerse themselves and those around them in a fog of gloom, often without the intention of finding solutions or silver linings. Negativity. Nurturers have a peculiar talent for spotting the cloud in every silver lining, dampening spirits and dimming the light of optimism wherever they go. Their presence can feel like a cold shadow over even the brightest of joys, as they remind you of every possible way things could go wrong, often under the guise of being realistic or practical. Their influence extends beyond mere conversation, seeping into the collective morale, stifling enthusiasm, and breeding a culture of doubt and fear. The challenge they pose is not just to individual happiness, but to the collective spirit of groups, teams, and communities, where their pessimistic outlook can quash initiative and dampen innovation. Navigating the murky waters inhabited by negativity nurturers requires a robust inner compass, one that points steadfastly towards hope and positivity. It involves consciously counterbalancing their pessimism with optimism, not through naivete, but through a grounded acknowledgement of potential and possibility. This doesn't mean ignoring risks or challenges, but rather choosing to focus on solutions and growth. It's also vital to protect your mental space from being overwhelmed by their negativity. This might involve setting boundaries around conversations, seeking out more positive interactions, or even using humor to lighten the mood. Encouraging negativity. Nurturers to engage in solution-focused thinking can sometimes shift their perspective from problem-oriented to one of possibility. Dealing with negativity nurturers teaches us the power of perspective. It underscores the importance of maintaining our light, not in denial of darkness, but as a beacon of hope amidst it. It's a lesson in resilience, in choosing the narrative of growth and positivity, even when faced with the gravitational pull of pessimism. Venturing beyond the pervasive gloom cast by the negativity nurturers, we come across the challenging dynamic presented by the expectation imposers. These individuals operate under the belief that their standards, timelines, and visions for how things should be are universally applicable, often placing unrealistic or unsolicited expectations on those around them. Unlike constructive goal setting within a mutual agreement, expectation imposers unilaterally decide the benchmarks of success and satisfaction, applying pressure without consent or consideration for individual circumstances. Expectation. Imposers often mask their impositions under the guise of high standards, ambition, or even a misguided sense of motivation. They push you to adopt their agenda, measuring your worth by your adherence to their predefined criteria. This can lead to a profound sense of inadequacy and stress, as the relentless pursuit of externally imposed benchmarks leaves little room for personal growth, autonomy, and the pursuit of individual passions. Their influence can be particularly stifling in environments that require creativity, flexibility, and personal initiative. The pressure to conform to their expectations can quench the spark of innovation, discourage risk-taking, and ultimately lead to a culture of compliance rather than exploration. To navigate the pressures exerted by expectation imposers, it's essential to cultivate a strong sense of self-awareness and confidence in your values and goals. Asserting your right to set your own standards and define your own success is crucial. This may involve open and honest communication about your expectations, seeking compromise where possible, but also standing firm when necessary. Fostering an environment that celebrates individual paths to success and recognizes diverse achievements can help mitigate the impact of expectation imposers. Encouraging dialogue that respects personal goals and acknowledges different measures of success can shift the narrative from one of imposition to one of mutual support and respect. Dealing with expectation imposers challenges us to affirm our autonomy and assert the legitimacy of our personal ambitions. It's a lesson in navigating external pressures while staying true to our inner compass, reminding us of the importance of defining success on our own terms. Through these encounters, we learn the value of personal integrity and the power of living in accordance with our own expectations, not those imposed upon us by others. Moving forward from the relentless drive of the expectation imposers, we enter the territory of the silent judgers. These individuals may not vocalize their critiques or impose their standards overtly like the expectation imposers, but their judgment is palpable, conveyed through subtle cues, body language, and the unspoken but deeply felt weight of their disapproval. Unlike constructive feedback delivered with empathy and the intent to support growth, the silent judgers communicate their criticism silently, leaving those around them to navigate a minefield of implied dissatisfaction and unspoken expectations. The silent judges wield their power through the silent treatment, dismissive gestures, or pointed nonverbal cues that signal their disapproval. This method of non-communication can be especially damaging as it denies the recipient the opportunity to understand the issue, discuss it openly, or seek resolution. It fosters an environment of insecurity and speculation, where individuals may find themselves constantly second-guessing their actions in an attempt to appease the unarticulated standards of the judger. Navigating the presence of silent judgers requires a delicate balance of intuition and self-assurance. It's essential to recognize that the silent judgment reflects more about the judger's personal biases and insecurities than the worth or intentions of those being judged. Maintaining open lines of communication, inviting dialogue, and expressing willingness to understand their perspective can sometimes bridge the gap created by silent judgments. However, it's equally important to cultivate an inner resilience, affirming your own worth and decisions without relying on external validation. Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive voices can help counterbalance the negativity implied by silent judgments, reinforcing a sense of self-esteem and belonging that is not contingent on the approval of the silent judgers. Confronting the silent judgers offers a profound lesson in the value of clear, compassionate communication and the importance of seeking understanding over judgment. It teaches us to trust our instincts, value constructive feedback, and let go of the need to please those who judge from the shadows. In doing so, we learn to live more authentically, guided by our values and the voice of our inner truth, rather than the silent disapproval of others.